In this video, I'll showcase a mix of wild yet innovative tanks, weapons, and aircraft from World War II that continue to amaze us to this day. I've gathered as many original photos and videos as possible to give an authentic perspective. During the heat of World War II, as nations fervently searched for innovative ways to gain an upper hand on the battlefield, Germany unveiled an unexpected yet fascinating weapon, the Goliath tracked mine. A testament to the era's ingenuity and desperation, the Goliath offers an intriguing look into the German military's approach to remote warfare. Often referred to as the Beetle tank due to its small, rounded shape, the Goliath tracked mine was essentially a mobile bomb, a precursor to today's drone technology. The concept behind it was simple: deliver a deadly payload to the enemy without risking the lives of soldiers. It was essentially a remote-controlled mini-tank loaded with high explosives. Driven by either electric motors or gasoline engines, these tiny tanks were steered remotely using a joystick control box connected to the Goliath by a triple-strand cable. The operator could drive the Goliath close to a target, be it a tank, infantry formation, bridge, or fortification, and detonate it from a safe distance, unleashing a powerful blast capable of wreaking havoc. The Goliath's design allowed it to carry between 60 to 100 kilograms of explosives, depending on the variant. The electric version was quieter and less prone to failure, but was more expensive to produce than the gasoline model. However, despite its innovative design, the Goliath had its shortcomings. Its slow speed made it an easy target for enemy infantry. Additionally, its control cables could be cut, rendering it useless. The cost of producing these machines was also high, which limited their widespread use. Deployed on both the eastern and western fronts, the Goliath saw action in several major battles, including the Warsaw Uprising, where it was used against Polish resistance fighters. However, by the war's end, the consensus was that the Goliath's strategic impact was minimal relative to its cost. While the Goliath tracked mine showcased the German military's advancements in remote-controlled warfare, another innovation emerged that sought to directly address the vulnerabilities faced by infantrymen on the front lines. Enter the Krumlauf, a marvel of German engineering aimed at revolutionizing close-quarter combat dynamics. The Krumlauf was a curved barrel attachment designed for the Sturmgewehr 44 rifle. The ambition behind its design was clear: allow soldiers to shoot around corners without the need to expose themselves to the perils of direct enemy fire. Suited for the tight confines of urban warfare and trenches, the Krumlauf and its periscope sighting device allowed soldiers to remain shielded behind walls or other barriers, peeking through the periscope to aim and firing around the obstruction. But the Krumlauf was a weapon of compromises. While its curved design was revolutionary, it came at a cost to accuracy. Shooting through the bent barrel inevitably compromised the bullet's trajectory, making it challenging to hit intended targets reliably. Additionally, the intense pressures and heat generated by firing through such a design led to rapid wear, often allowing for only a few hundred rounds before the barrel degraded. The curved trajectory also reduced bullet velocity and range, further hindering its effectiveness. Building upon the theme of audacious wartime innovation, the British, too, had their share of unique weapon designs during World War II. Among these stands the peculiar yet memorable Panjandrum. The Panjandrum, also humorously known as the Great Panjandrum, was nothing short of a spectacle in military engineering. It was essentially a massive, rocket-propelled wheel designed to clear obstacles on beaches during amphibious landings. Conceived as part of preparations for D-Day, the aim was for the Panjandrum to charge at formidable German defenses, detonating its large explosive payload upon reaching its target. Visually, the Panjandrum looked almost like something out of a Jules Verne novel. Two large wooden wheels, some 10 feet in diameter, were connected by a central drum filled with explosives. Around the wheel's rims were attached a series of rockets. Once ignited, these rockets would propel the Panjandrum towards enemy lines at high speeds. Yet, the realities of war often stand in stark contrast to the drawing board, and the Panjandrum was no exception. In practice, the weapon faced numerous challenges. Its rockets often fired unevenly, causing it to veer off course. There were even instances during testing when the rockets broke free from the apparatus, turning into uncontrollable projectiles that posed as much danger to friendly forces as to the enemy. Ultimately, due to its unpredictability and the risks involved, the Panjandrum was never deployed in actual combat. Pivoting from the land to the air, another remarkable British innovation from World War II was the bouncing bomb. Developed by engineer Barnes Wallace, this ingenious device was crafted to target German dams, a vital infrastructure providing essential water and power to the Nazi war machine. Unlike conventional bombs, the bouncing bomb was designed to skip over the water surface, much like a stone skimming across a pond. This unique behavior was intended to bypass the protective torpedo nets guarding the dams. After its bouncing journey, the bomb would sink against the dam's wall and detonate at a specific depth, causing maximum damage. The bomb's concept was realized most famously in Operation Chastise, undertaken by the Royal Air Force's 617 Squadron in May 1943. This mission, later immortalized in the film The Dam Busters, targeted several key dams in the Ruhr Valley, Germany's industrial heartland. The operation witnessed the successful breach of the Möhne and Ettersee dams, causing widespread flooding and significant disruptions to German industry. However, the bouncing bomb and the Dam Busters mission were not without their challenges and controversies. The operation was dangerous and required pilots to fly at perilously low altitudes to accurately release the bombs. Additionally, while the dam's breaches were a success, the subsequent flooding resulted in significant civilian casualties. Continuing the theme of unusual wartime inventions, we travel to the other side of the globe, to New Zealand, where the story of the Bob Semple tank unfolds. In the face of potential threats from the Axis powers, and particularly concerns about a possible Japanese invasion, New Zealand found itself in a precarious situation during the early stages of World War II. With a limited amount of armored vehicles and no easy way to procure them, the country sought a homegrown solution to bolster its defenses. Thus, the Bob Semple tank was born. The brainchild of New Zealand's Minister of Works, Bob Semple, this improvised armored vehicle was a testament to ingenuity born from desperation. Built upon the chassis of a standard tractor, the tank was fashioned from corrugated iron, giving it a rather unconventional and somewhat boxy appearance. Its armaments were equally unorthodox, featuring a mix of machine guns and rifles poking out from all angles. While the Bob Semple tank stands as a symbol of resourcefulness, it was, by most practical measures, not particularly effective. The tank was slow, lacked proper armor protection, and its corrugated iron construction made it noisy and hot for the crew inside. Moreover, its large size made it an easy target, and it lacked the firepower one would expect from a traditional tank. Despite these shortcomings, the Bob Semple tank captured the hearts of many New Zealanders. It represented the country's can-do attitude and determination to defend its shores, even when faced with limited resources. Although it never saw combat and was eventually replaced by more conventional armored vehicles, the Bob Semple tank remains a cherished symbol of New Zealand's wartime spirit and resilience. Transitioning back to the European theater of war, the German military's aviation sector was a hotbed for groundbreaking designs and audacious ideas. Two standout aircraft that personify this innovative drive are the Me-163 Comet and the Horton Ho 229. The Me-163 Comet was a genuine marvel of its time. As the world's first and only rocket-powered fighter aircraft to ever see combat, the Comet was a desperate attempt by Nazi Germany to counter the swarms of Allied bombers targeting the homeland. Powered by a Walter rocket engine, the Me-163 could reach astounding speeds of up to 700 miles per hour in short bursts, allowing it to quickly intercept and engage enemy aircraft. However, this impressive speed came with a host of challenges. Its volatile fuel mixture was prone to explosions, and the aircraft's extreme velocity made it difficult for pilots to aim accurately or engage in prolonged combat. While the Comet did achieve some kills, its overall impact on the war was minimal, primarily due to its limited operational range and the inherent dangers of its propulsion system. In tandem with the Me-163's radical approach to propulsion, the Horton Ho 229 represented a significant leap in aircraft design. Often referred to as Hitler's stealth fighter, this jet-powered flying wing was years ahead of its time. Conceptualized by the Horten brothers, Walter and Reimar, the Ho 229 was designed with a focus on reducing radar cross-section and enhancing aerodynamic efficiency. Its sleek, all-wing design was a stark departure from conventional aircraft shapes, laying the groundwork for future stealth aircraft like the US B-2 Spirit bomber. While the Ho 229 underwent successful test flights, it never reached full production or saw combat. However, its influence is undeniable, as it showcased the potential of stealth technology long before it became a mainstay in modern air warfare. Together, the Me-163 Comet and the Horten-Ho 229 encapsulate Germany's commitment to pushing the boundaries of aviation technology during World War II. Navigating from the skies to the ground, German engineering prowess further manifested in the form of colossal artillery pieces. Among the giants of World War II artillery, the Schwerer Gustav and its sibling Dora stand out as titans of terrifying proportions. Schwerer Gustav, aptly named after its developer, Gustav Krupp, was an immense railway gun designed to obliterate the toughest fortifications. Its sheer statistics are staggering. The gun weighed around 1,350 tons, had a barrel length of over 30 meters, and fired projectiles weighing up to 7 tons. Its primary purpose was to destroy the heavily fortified Maginot Line along the French border, although it never actually took on that task. Instead, the Schwerer Gustav found its most notable use during the Siege of Sevastopol in 1942, where its powerful shots obliterated Soviet fortifications and made a psychological impact that was hard to quantify. Dora, the sibling of Schwerer Gustav, was similarly gargantuan and shared many design characteristics. While their operational use was limited due to their cumbersome nature, the sheer power and size of these guns became emblematic of the German approach to superweapons during the war. Transporting, assembling, and firing these monsters was a Herculean task. They required multiple train cars to transport, special tracks for mounting, and a crew of over 2,500 men to operate. The logistical challenges, combined with their limited strategic value and vulnerability from the air, meant that these massive guns had a short operational history. Still, their legacy endures, not so much for their impact on the battlefield, but for their embodiment of the extreme engineering feats pursued during the conflict. Rounding out our exploration of unconventional wartime inventions, the use of flamethrowers on tanks epitomizes the combination of creativity and brutality that characterized weapon development during World War II. Flamethrower tanks, or crocodiles as they were often called by the Allies, particularly the British, were regular armored tanks retrofitted with flamethrowers. Instead of a main gun, these tanks featured a potent flamethrower, capable of projecting a long stream of fire to clear out entrenched positions, bunkers, and fortifications. The psychological impact of these tanks was as significant as their physical destructiveness. The mere sight of a flame-spewing tank often struck terror into the hearts of enemy soldiers. Flames could seep into hidden nooks and crannies of a bunker, making them especially effective against fortified positions where traditional artillery might falter. Moreover, the use of fire as a weapon has historically been associated with intense fear, and its deployment during World War II was no exception. The British Churchill Crocodile is one of the most iconic flamethrower tanks of the era. It was a modified Churchill tank equipped with a trailer carrying the flammable liquid. When deployed, it could shoot a jet of fire for over 100 meters, creating hellish landscapes in its wake. However, while flamethrower tanks were undeniably effective in certain situations, they came with vulnerabilities. The trailers carrying the flammable liquid were susceptible to enemy fire, and a hit could lead to catastrophic explosions. Additionally, these tanks were often prioritized as targets due to the significant threat they posed. In the broader tapestry of World War II weapon innovations, flamethrower tanks encapsulate the essence of adaptability, ingenuity, and raw power. They stand as a testament to the lengths armies went to breach enemy lines, clear obstructions, and instill fear, all pivotal strategies in the relentless push for victory.